everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the Speed Before Crumbling Victorian. So we're continuing on with the furnishing, and I'm starting things off with the furnishing of the landing area upstairs. So I just decided to continue the kind of gaudy red flooring and red wallpaper thing that I had going on downstairs, and I just realized that the carpet is going a different way, which is going to bug me. Maybe I shouldn't have pointed that out, because now that might bug some of you. But yeah, I thought it'd be good to just continue that on, have some continuity, since you can kind of see down into the living room from upstairs, so I thought it'd be good if it all just had the same wallpaper and flooring. But yeah, just trying to put up a bunch of fancy paintings everywhere. There wasn't really a whole lot to this area because it's just not very big. This is one of the few builds that I've actually kept carpet in, because whenever I try to use carpet, I just usually end up getting rid of it because I just prefer the look of the wood floorings better. Because I tried using carpet in the penthouse let's build that I'm doing, but I just ended up going with wood flooring instead of it. But I really like this carpet. It's got a nice detailed look to it, because usually I just feel like carpet doesn't make the rooms look detailed enough, especially if you just use the plain carpet. So I think that tends to be why I don't go for it, because wood floors just add a bit more detail to the room. But yeah, this carpet works pretty well. Looks pretty good in here. Although this room in the living room is the only rooms where I really used it. But we're done with that room, so now we're moving on to what will be the toddler bedroom. And this is probably my favorite bedroom in this house. I just love how it turned out, and I was just really excited to do this room because this is only the second toddler bedroom that I furnished. So really looking forward to getting to use more of the items, because I only used a few of them in that toddler room build that I did a while back, after I think a month ago at this point. Yeah, it will have been a month ago. I think like when this video is going up, it will have been exactly a month ago that toddlers came out. So yeah, I can't believe it's been a month already. But yeah, I ended up using the more, I guess craftsman style, I guess that's what that is, craftsman style toddler bed, just because I felt like that would better suit this build than using the car bed or that other kid's bed. And with this room, I wanted to make it look a little bit more cheerful than the rest of the house, because the rest of the house does have kind of a dreary look to it, but I didn't want it to look too cheery, because I didn't want it to look out of place in this house. So I used blue in the walls, a different color than I've used on the walls of this build so far, and it's a little, well, it's not really that light of a color, but I mean it's lighter than making the walls black. So and then I also used the parachute wall decoration, but I did of course try to make it in as dark of a color that it came in. But yeah, just so happy with how this room turned out. I'm kind of tempted to upload this as a separate room to the gallery, although I'm not sure how useful this is actually going to be, because I feel like room builds aren't really that useful, because if you want to use them, you have to actually try to fit them into a house, which isn't always the easiest thing to do. Like, I feel like the best use for them is just put them down and pull objects out of them. I don't know, I've never actually used a room build in a house before, because yeah, I just don't find it super useful. But yeah, I really wanted to have a toddler in this family, because I still haven't gotten much of a chance to play with toddlers, unfortunately. The only times I play with toddlers are what I've done in my city living let's play, because I had the one part where I jumped into a different household for the last 10 minutes just because the sim had a toddler and I really wanted to play toddlers. And then another time I had my sim visit a family member who had a toddler, so I had to play with her. But yeah, that's it, unfortunately, because I don't really get any time to play the game outside of when I'm working on videos, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I just don't really end up with a lot of free time to do that. So most of the time when I'm playing the game for Let's Plays, that's the only time I get to play it. So yeah, I just really wanted to put a toddler in this family so that I could get a chance to actually explore that and explore the whole teaching them skills thing and all of that. So I'm really looking forward to that. I just thought it'd be cute to have a vampire toddler in the family. But we're done with the toddler's room, so we're moving on to the room that's going to be for the younger daughter, who is a child, in case you didn't already get that. So for her room, I went with a purple and black color scheme, and as I touched on in the last part, I want her to be kind of an evil, creepy child, and her parents are just really concerned about how she's going to be once they start getting her powers. Like, they're worried that she's going to be, she's going to continue to have very evil tendencies, and she's going to cause trouble and hurt people and all that. I mean, I don't know how dark I want to go with it, but yeah, I really want her to just not be a good sim and kind of get to play around with having an evil vampire, because I want the rest of the family to be good vampires who are nice to humans and all of that when they do run into them. But yeah, I wanted her to be a little bit darker, but I was just starting off with her as a child because I wanted to have different ages when I start off, because there were some interactions that you could have child sims do with toddlers, I believe, so I wanted to check out those, but I'm probably not going to keep her child for the whole time that she's supposed to be a child, because I wanted to age her up into a teen fairly soon in the Let's Play, so I could get her started on her aspiration and all of that, and get her powers and kind of explore that. Because I was thinking that I'd give her the vampire family aspiration, which I think it's not really that evil of an aspiration, but I think they're just supposed to turn Sims into vampires, so we could have her get into doing that. So I think there will be a bit of struggle between her and the rest of her family. Yeah, so I was going to put these nice clouds on the wall next to her bed, but then I thought, you know what, it might be better to put these scratches here, as if her parents got after her for something she did, and she was sent to a room, and she got really mad while sitting in her bed and just scratched at the walls. Yeah, because I see her as also having a bit of a temper, because I kind of wish you could give Child Sims more than one trait, because I want to give her the evil and the hot-headed trait. Although, I'm not sure if I'm going to... I don't know. I'm not sure what trait I'm going to give her when she's a teenager, but I just imagine her as having a bit of a temper, and then maybe she took out that temper on the wall next to her bed. So, yeah, that's why I put those claw marks there. But yeah, over here we're just getting a bed. I also stuck the puppet theater in her room, because I haven't used that much, and I just thought that that would work better for her than the Void Critter, because again, these Sims aren't really that into technology. And I didn't really put posters up around her room or the teenager's room, because I want them to kind of not really be aware of pop culture or anything like that, so they just don't have posters with that kind of stuff on it in their rooms. But maybe the other vampire who's coming to live with them could introduce them to that, because yeah, I was saying last time that there is going to be another teenager vampire who's going to be staying with them who isn't a part of the family, and she's a bit more, she's from the modern world, she's, you know, more up to date on technology and all of that, so might ever introduce them to that kind of stuff, I don't know. But we're working on the main bathroom that's on this floor right now, so just kept with the red and black color scheme. And I ended up using a lot of reds and blacks in this house, just because they're the stereotypical vampire colors, so I just really wanted to use that throughout this house a lot. This bathroom was a weird shape to furnish, because once I got the counters in, I wasn't really sure where to put the tub, so it was just kind of awkwardly against the diagonal wall, and it was a little tricky to fit in there, but it ended up being fine. I mean, it fits in there fairly decently. Fortunately, there weren't any walls I could really fit a towel rack on next to that, and I didn't want to put towel racks on the other side of the room. But yeah, we're done with that, so on to the master bedroom now. And I ended up putting walls up in that area in front of the window, because I decided to turn that into a walk-in closet, because I really wanted a nice spot to put the bed in, and I was going to be using this bed, and putting it in front of the window would have been a good spot, but then because the back of it's so tall, it would have just blocked the window. I didn't want to block the window, so yeah, I just put that wall up and then figured I could use a space behind it as a nice walk-in closet, because I guess even vampires need to be fashionable. So yeah, I liked how that looked. It also makes the room feel a little fancier, because I was trying to make this room look pretty luxurious, and also helped to make it so there wouldn't just be a bunch of empty space in the middle of the room, because I was kind of worried about that, because this room is pretty large. And I also really like the bed. I was kind of hoping that the game pack would come with a canopy bed, but that was still pretty good. So now moving on to the walk-in closet, and unfortunately, there aren't any clothing decorations that look like things that the vampires would actually wear, so I just made do with what there was. And at first I put a mirror in there, but then I was like, wait a minute, they can't see themselves in mirrors, so what's the point? They're not going to be able to check themselves out in it, so yeah, I decided it would be better to just get rid of that and put a dresser in there instead. So yeah, that's a little bit more useful. So we're done with that, and just getting some decorations and such around this room. Yeah, with this build, I was trying my best to avoid using mirrors. I did put them in the bathrooms, just because I always feel like you have to have mirrors in bathrooms. But yeah, they of course didn't need it. But I don't think I put mirrors anywhere else, so I was pretty good with that, because usually I put mirrors all over houses as decorations. But yeah, again, kind of pointless for this house, so I just decided not to do that. So yeah, we're just about finished with this room. I think the last thing I stuck in here was another desk, because like I was saying before, I saw one of the Sims as being into writing, so I figured this is a desk that they could potentially write at, although they can't actually write at a desk, they have to use a computer. But yeah, I just figured you could think of it as a desk for that, because I wasn't sure what else to put in that space. And when I originally did the study, I didn't put a computer in it, because I was like, at first I wasn't going to have any computers in this house, but then I realized that if I was going to go having one of them be a writer route, that I should probably have a computer somewhere in the house so that they could actually do it. So I just used the older looking one that was unlocked through the writer career, I think. Yeah, pretty sure it was a writer career that it was unlocked through. But yeah, just putting the finishing touches on the bedroom. So we're shortly going to be moving on to the bathroom, which I just furnished in a pretty similar manner to how I did the one out in the hallway. Just I really like how that looked, and I just wanted to get this done pretty quickly. So once again, we've got blacks and reds. Just use the same counters and sinks and all of that. I thought about using the counters that came with the game pack in the bathrooms, but I think these look a lot better. And then I think I also furnished the bathroom in the basement the same way, because I did a lot of, wait, no, I didn't do a lot of the furnishing in one night. I think I did this whole floor in one night after work, and then the next evening after I got home, I went in and furnished the attic and then the basement. But yeah, the bathroom was one of the last things I furnished, so I was like, I'm just gonna do the same thing I did upstairs and make it quicker. So yeah, just getting the toilet, and I want to have some kind of cabinet next to it, so, but the cabinet items they had didn't really look that good, so I decided to just use that the cabinet, like the bigger cabinet, which worked really well. And I also put that water stain item underneath the tank of the toilet as if it leaked and then it stained the walls. When I first put that in the other bathroom, I originally had it a lot lower, but then I realized that looked kind of like someone maybe missed the toilet, so thought it would be best to raise it up a little bit. So yeah, just taking care of this deck out here, and I decided to put an easel out there because one of the Sims I wanted to have one of the Sims be in a painting, so I figured we had to have an easel somewhere. So just got out there, although that unfortunately means they won't be able to do any daytime painting, so they can just go out there at night and do that. But we're done with that, so we're moving on to the attic, which is going to be the teenage son's bedroom. And my thoughts on that was that when he found out that he was going to be getting another younger sibling, he didn't want to share a room with them or his sister, so he just cleared out the attic, which I imagine was just filled with a bunch of junk, and used that as his room, and ends up being a pretty cool room. Like, I would love to have just a whole attic to myself, because this is pretty big. I think it's actually bigger than the master bedroom, maybe? I'm not sure. Like, if you don't count the turret part of it, I think it is smaller, but either way, it's about the same size, but it's still not quite as nice, because it doesn't have its own bathroom. But yeah, still pretty happy with how this room turned out. So this is probably a second behind the toddler bedroom. And what I ended up doing with the whole turret area was I turned it into just an area with a bunch of junk. Because, like I said, I imagine this as having been where they just kept a bunch of junk, and maybe they weren't able to just get rid of all of it. So a bunch of it was just shoved over there, and then there's a curtain so that they could potentially be closed to hide the stuff. So yeah, I thought that'd be kind of a cool thing to do to take up some of the space. So now I'm just going through the items and finding various junk type things that I can put back there. And then he also has a cool little TV area that you can watch TV with friends in, I suppose. Although, I'm not sure if he's really going to have very many friends, because there's only four other lots in this neighborhood. But I might put a couple of vampire families with some teenagers in them in that, so that he can have some friends. Oh, and actually, if any of you want to make vampire Sims that I could use in this Let's Play, that would be awesome. Unfortunately, I'm only going to be able to put in 3 of them, because I want to keep Vlad. I feel like he's a good Sim to keep. But then I could get rid of that one family. What were they? The Vittori family or something like that? So I could get rid of them and then have 3 other families in. So unfortunately, I won't be able to add in too many, because I want to keep the vampires just in Forgotten Hollow. But yeah, if any of you want to make Sim families that I can move in, that would be awesome. Yeah, so if you want to do that, you can use the TidesChanging LP hashtag. I'll try to remember to put that up somewhere on the screen. But yeah, just finishing up putting a bunch of junk in this area, and then putting a bunch of cobwebs as well, because this is stuff that I'd imagine had not been touched in a while, so we just got lots of cobwebs all over the place. I put a lot of those things in to make it look like the walls were worn. And I also didn't really put a whole lot in the way of wall decorations in this room, because again, I didn't want to have posters, because I wanted them to not really know much about pop culture, so I didn't want to have posters of video games and singers and athletes and stuff like that. So I just used a lot of those wall decals to make the walls look a little bit more decorated, because I felt like that was enough for this room. I also put a bunch of bookshelves around this room, because I also wanted him to be a bit of a bookworm and just really into reading, so I'm going to give him the master vampire aspiration, because he just really wants to learn as much about vampire lore as possible, so he'll learn what he can from his parents. And then I also see him passing his parents in terms of his vampire lore knowledge, so we just got lots of bookshelves with a bunch of books. Also put that vampire book stand there, and he has his own computer, which I made in a lovely 90s white color just to make it look a little bit more outdated. I figured that'd be useful for studying the vampire lore skill. And something else I was thinking about for this Let's Play was that I don't want to have the kids go to school because I want to keep them isolated, so I don't want them to go to school with a bunch of other kids. So rather than having them go off to school, I wanted to have them just stay at home and study the vampire lore skill and work on their aspirations, so they'll more so be homeschooled. Hopefully that's not going to cause any issues apart from getting the annoying call from the principal that you're failing. I know that's not an issue for teenagers, but I'm not sure if child sims will be taken away if they're failing school. I don't think so, but I don't know that for sure, so that's probably something I should really figure out before I start this. If that's the case, then I'll probably just send the child sim to school, and then when she becomes a teenager, I'll stop sending her to school. We'll see. Hopefully that's not the case, because yeah, I really don't want them to actually go off to school. So we're done with the attic, so we're moving on to the basement. We've just got the entrance, or not entrance area, the hallway area down here, so didn't really do a whole lot for that. We just got a runner rug and some spider webs and cracks in the wall. So this room is going to be the teenage girl who's staying with them's bedroom, and this bedroom is furnished in a different way than the other ones, because like I said before, she's more of a modern vampire. She kind of comes from another world. She's not from Forgotten Hollow. She's from somewhere that's a bit less isolated. So with her room, I use the more budget-friendly looking furniture from City Living just to make it look like she was attempting to try to make this room look more like the style she's used to as best she could, because I mean she's just in this dark and dreary room with a lot of stones, so she's trying to make the best of it by using some brighter colors like the yellow on the couch. So there's a mix of that stuff, and then there's also some older furniture that I was thinking could have been stuff that was just stored around the house because, like I was saying, I thought of that, I imagined that in the past was a bunch of junk in the attic, maybe also a bunch of junk in this room, so she repurposed some of that in addition of just finding cheap furniture that she could use to furnish this room. And she also does have a nicer TV. It's not the nicest TV, but she does have a nicer one in here, and also video game system, so figured she could introduce the other Sims to that, and then she also has a nicer computer in here as well. And I like how the mix of different styles looks in this room. And talking about the Sims and my ideas just getting me so excited to start this Let's Play, because I can't wait to play in this house. Because it's bigger than houses that I usually start out Let's Plays in. And I've just really enjoyed talking about the Sims and my ideas so far in this video. And hopefully it won't take me too long to finish getting everything set up. Because, yeah, I would like to start it on the Tuesday after this coming Tuesday, because I don't really want to hold it off a full week. But yeah, there's a chance I might not be able to get it ready for that Tuesday. So yeah, if that's the case, then it will be starting the Friday after that. But yeah, it's only going to be a less than 2-week wait from when the speed build's going up at the most. So that's not too long. So hopefully that's fine. But we're on to the butler's bedroom now. There's not really anything too exciting going on in here. There's not really a whole lot of personalizing in this room. I just kind of furnished it in sort of a basic manner, like you just got your plain old basic bedroom furniture, I guess. So you just got a dresser and a bookshelf and also a couch there that I guess they can sit on and read books, and a desk, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I think there's not really a whole lot more furnishing to do because we've just got the bedroom and then the crypt area, or the coffin area. Because yeah, the basement was actually pretty quick to furnish because I didn't really have to think about the flooring and wallpaper for it, because I just stuck the stone stuff all over the place and then left it at that. So this basement definitely has a creepy feel. Like I feel kind of bad for the other Sim who's down here, because I would not want to have a room in a basement like this. Like I've lived in basements before, and it's not fun. Like the place before where I'm living now was a basement apartment, and at first I thought it was gonna be fine, but then just being in a basement with very little sunlight just drove me nuts. I didn't like being in there, so yeah, I'm not really a fan of having a bedroom in a basement. I also lived in that place when I first started YouTube, which is a little bit of a problem because I unfortunately did not have control over how much noise the guy upstairs was making, and he tended to blare the TV a lot, so that just made it kind of difficult to make videos at times. But yeah, fortunately I don't have to worry about that kind of a thing where I'm at now. So I finished up the bathroom, and now we're on to the coffin room. So I just have 4 coffins in there. So actually, I think children can sleep in coffins. I don't remember, but yeah, I wanted to have enough coffins for the family, because I believe toddlers can't sleep in coffins. I'm pretty sure they can't, so I wanted to have coffins for the rest of the family. So there's not one for the the teen girl, but maybe I'll add one for her later on. But starting out, there's not going to be one. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to have them sleep in their beds or their coffins or how I'm going to work that out, because I don't know if I'm going to go the beds are more for show route or not. But yeah, anyway, the building part of the video is just about done, so yeah, I've got information on how to download this in the description below, and yeah, that's going to be all for me, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
Thank you.